Jumbo everybody, in today's video I have a 10 Disney World hacks video for you. It's a collab with Jen's Happy Home and Di from Being Mommy with Style, and we're going to share with you just things that make our Disney trips that much better, more special, more inexpensive, whatever it is. So I've got my Minnie Mouse phone case, and we're gonna get started here. So my first hack is actually a place to watch Illuminations at Epcot. I love Epcot, it's one of my favorite parks. So we would oftentimes try to find new places to watch Illuminations from, and this last time that we went to Disney was last September. We found the best spot to watch Illuminations, and so many of you guys have emailed me or commented and said thank you for sharing this tip because it was the best place to see Illuminations ever. And basically it is at the Norway Pavilion at the Stave Church. There is, when you're facing the Norway Pavilion on the left-hand side, there is this, it looks like a church, and inside there's like stuff about Frozen in there, which that's not my thing, but anyway. So on the steps of the Stave Church, it brings you up just enough to be able to see the entire fireworks show really, really well. There is a little tree that kind of blocks a little bit of the view, but it's really not bad. And the best part is that it gets the other people away from you, which is good. When you're at Disney, sometimes you get like people overload. And standing on the steps of the Stave Church is just great because there's also like a little overhang, so you won't really get ashes or anything on your face from the fireworks and stuff. And the hallways around you are small enough that most people don't really travel down those hallways. So, I mean, you've pretty much got like this private viewing area of Illuminations, and it's awesome just standing on the steps of the Stave Church. So I highly recommend standing there the next time you go to Illuminations. Unless it's when I'm there and I'll kick you off. No, I'm kidding. All right, so the next thing, I get people overload. Mr. Simple Life does too. And we like to have those little spaces to kind of get away from people for a little bit of time, just to maybe eat a packed lunch or have a snack, sip of water, just to sit and reapply sunscreen, whatever it is. And so one place at Epcot that I like to do that at is actually, I have two. The first place is inside the China Pavilion where they show reflections of China. Inside there, it is, first of all, right when you walk in the door of that place, you'll see a little circle on the ground. And if you look up, it's just beautiful, painted, like wonderfully Instagram photo worthy. You should totally take a picture of the ceiling. But when you stand in the center, it is acoustically perfect. And so it's a crazy sound when you talk or when someone talks to you. So that's kind of a cool thing. That has nothing to do with what I'm going to tell you, but little tidbit there. So when you walk further into that room, like you're gonna walk into Reflections of China, there is a bench area, air conditioned, quiet, cool, great place to eat a packed lunch, reapply sunscreen. We've done that many, many, many times, just kind of sat there. When the China movie has started, I think the cast members get really confused when we don't walk in and watch the movie. We're just like still sitting there eating our food and whatever. And it's just a great place to get away from the crowd for a little bit, because it's always quiet and it's just really, really nice inside there. So that's one. Second place that I really like is actually Morocco. Morocco is one of my favorite pavilions at Epcot, and we used to just walk right past it. We didn't really go in it because there wasn't a ride, there wasn't a video, like movie or anything. But now we just love the Morocco Pavilion. So when you walk under the archway, when you're going into the Morocco Pavilion, on the left-hand side, there is a room, and it's not covered. I mean, it's kind of like thatched, sort of. So if it is raining, it'll still kind of rain in that room. But there is a water fountain feature thing in there that kind of drowns out the noise a little bit, with benches to sit along the wall right there. Great place, again, eat a packed lunch, reapply sunscreen, check your fast passes, whatever you need to do. It's just so nice. Nobody ever goes back in that room, like ever. Anytime I've been in there, there's maybe been one family walking through because they're lost and don't know where they're going, and so it's just entertaining. I love sitting in that space. Really, really good. Okay, so my number 3, best ride seats. So I have a couple of these. For Soarin', if you can, the middle section, row 1. You can almost always request to sit in the first row if you want to wait a second. The first row of Soarin', regardless of where you're at, is going to be your better view because you're not going to see feet hanging in front of your face. At Magic Kingdom, I don't really have any specific ones. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, I like, if you want a more intense experience on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, request the back seat. The seats are very small. That has nothing to do with this. They're just very uncomfortable. I don't know. But the back seat is good from the one drop that there is. Plus it feels like it sways a little bit more if you're into that kind of thing. At Splash Mountain, it depends on how wet you want to get. If you want to get soaked, sit in the front. Front right generally is a very, very wet seat. Let's see. Other places, I don't really have any more at Magic Kingdom. At Animal Kingdom, Expedition Everest, again, it depends on the intensity that you are looking for. If you don't want the ride to be super duper intense, request the very front seat. If you want it to be a little more intense, request the back. Either way, it doesn't really matter because you go backwards and forwards, so you get best of both worlds, I suppose. Other than that, Kilimanjaro Safari, I actually try to request to be up by the cast member, just because they'll talk to you and it's just fun to talk to the cast members. So I always try to get the front row of Kilimanjaro Safari. Did I just say that? Yeah. And I think that's all I have for that. Hollywood Studios. The back row of Rock and Roller Coaster is a little more intense for me from a launch standpoint because you go a little bit farther at full speed. So there's that. I don't know if that really makes much of a difference. Other than that, there's really not much more of a good seat there. Yeah, I think that pretty much is the gist of it. So those are my best ride seat recommendations. Speaking of rides, number 4, using the single rider option is great if you are willing to split up from your party. As the cast members will tell you multiple times, you will be separated from your party. So single rider oftentimes has very little weight, and there are some rides that offer single rider, and we almost always take advantage of that. So Mr. Simple Life and I will split up and we'll sit next to strangers and we'll ride the ride. It'll be great, not a big deal, and there you go. So for us, we always do single rider at Test Track. I've actually yet to do the non-single rider at Test Track. That's just the way we are. We always just opt for the single rider because it's always, even at like the most crowded times of year, we went in July one year and the single rider line was 20 minutes wait at the peak of the day, where it was like 2.5 hours for the everybody else line. And it just makes such a difference. If you're willing to be split up from your party, you might as well do it because it'll save you a ton of time. You don't need a fast pass for it either. Okay, so number 5, inexpensive souvenirs. I like to do pressed pennies. I have one actually. That's from somewhere at Magic Kingdom, or I think this was maybe Main Street at Magic Kingdom. I can't remember where I got this one from, but I have a lot of them and they're just, I don't know, they're really cute little souvenirs. They're 51 cents, so you have 2 quarters and then your penny that you have pressed, and they have them all over. They have them at the resorts, they have them at pretty much most like ride entrances or exits, and it's just fun to collect them. So, and they do sell pressed penny books that you can collect them into, so pretty inexpensive from a souvenir standpoint, and I just like doing pressed pennies. I don't know, that's just me. You'll also get I'm Celebrating buttons for free. Sometimes I think you have to request them now. They used to just give them out to everybody, but I think you may have to request them if you want. They have a generic I'm Celebrating, they have a first visit, happy anniversary, they have a wedding one and a birthday. I think that might be all that they have now. But you can get those for free, and you can write on them with a Sharpie whatever it is you're celebrating or how many years of an anniversary you're celebrating and all that. So that's just fun to do. So that's a completely free souvenir as well, just something to kind of think about. Something else that we've done from an inexpensive souvenir standpoint is we made our own little passport book to go around the Epcot countries and have the cast members stamp and like write a little message in. It was literally like I made a book that looked like a passport. I had like blue construction paper and then just pages in here with each little page like for a country. I had the country's name on it, and then I wrote our names on it too, and they write a little message to you and stamp your passport, and it's just fun to do. So anyway, another little inexpensive souvenir DIY. There you go. Number 6. So when you are at Disney, you can get free water. A lot of people don't know this. If you go to a counter service restaurant and that counter service restaurant happens to have fountain drinks, you can get a free cup of ice water. You just have to go up and ask for ice water, and that's it. So I think the water at Disney now for like a normal Dasani bottle is maybe $2.75. $3.75, $2.75. I think it's gone up that much. So getting the free water, just a good option if you need to have some water. Number 7. So let's say you don't have a park ticket. What else can you do on the at the resort? I like to go to the boardwalk. They have great rocking chairs out the back side of the lobby at the boardwalk. So you can literally park at the boardwalk for free, or if you are at Epcot, you can walk over to the boardwalk if you want to, and just go out the back side. You go right in the front door, right out the back door, and there's nice little rocking chairs, and they're just so nice to sit in. I just love sitting there. I can sit there like all day long. We like going to the Grand Floridian and listening to the band and the piano player in the lobby of the Grand Floridian. Again, totally free. You just take a monorail to the Grand Floridian, or you can drive your car there and just go to the lobby. Generally, they start in the mid-afternoon and they go into the early evening, and it's just so nice to listen to music, get out of the heat for a little bit of time. That's just fun. We like to watch the used to be Wishes. Now it's something different. Happily Ever After, I guess, fireworks show at the Magic Kingdom. We like to watch that from the Polynesian beach. They have little lawn chairs, or you can just bring a blanket and sit on the beach and just watch the fireworks. They pump the music in, and that's just fun and free to do. So that's just a fun thing to participate in. You can also do any of the little nighttime activities around Fort Wilderness. A lot of times they'll have movies showing either there or at any of the resorts, and it's okay to watch the movies for free. I mean, there's no one's gonna be like, get out of here, you're not staying at this hotel, like no one's gonna kick you out. And it's just a fun, free activity to do with kids if you wanna watch a movie. I think pretty much all of the resorts have movies. Sometimes it's like around the pool area, or just on like the back side. Like I know at the beach club, yacht club, they have it on the beach there, so that's just like fun, and you can just sit and watch the movie. You don't have to like stay there, so that's just fun. Fort Wilderness has like the sing-along and other things that are free activities for families too, so that's why I mentioned Fort Wilderness before, because you can really take advantage of that if you are interested in doing some free stuff. Let's see, number 8, staying healthy. This is my hack for staying healthy at Disney. It's actually a combination of things. So the first thing is my hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer, seriously, y'all. Bring hand sanitizer to Disney World. Can't even tell you how much it skeeves me out thinking about how many people touch like everything at Disney. So seriously. Very, very good to have. Also, I take vitamin C every single day that I'm there. This is the one that I take. This is the lipospheric vitamin C. Love it. I can't take vitamin C supplements because it upsets my digestive system, except for this one. This one I've had very, very good luck with. I can take it on an empty stomach, not a big deal. Little glass of water, drink it down, bingo bango. Also, thieves. Seriously, y'all. Seriously. You need Thieves in your life. Thieves Essential Oil, this is my fave for immune system support, as well as oregano, which I have back there. Thieves and oregano, always on my feet, couple times a day when I am at Disney World, for real. This stuff. Last thing for immune system, I always take black elderberry syrup. Generally, I take my own, but this is a good one to have if you need to buy one at like Whole Foods. This is really good for supporting your immune system. You're around so many people at Disney World. Seriously, if nothing else, you need these in your lives. I'm not even kidding. This is like our lifesaver when we go to Disney World, so seriously. Okay, moving on. Let me see. Number 9, renting at Disney Vacation Club points. So this is something that we've done since, let's see, our first time renting DVC points was in 2011. So it's been 6 years. Every trip we've rented Disney Vacation Club points on. So we've stayed at Saratoga Springs, which is by Downtown Disney. We've stayed at Old Key West, which is also by Downtown Disney. We've stayed at the Boardwalk twice. 3 times? Twice. I think, yeah, 2 times so far. And this next trip we are staying at Bay Lake Tower. So what we do is we rent Disney Vacation Club points. And by doing that, you're renting from people who own timeshares with Disney called Disney Vacation Club. And you can stay in these hotel rooms for so much less than what you would pay rack rate. It's pretty astounding. Like, I can tell you, in 2013, we stayed in a studio room at the Boardwalk during value season. It was a standard view room. It wasn't anything special or whatever. $120 a night, y'all. Because I rented Disney Vacation Club points from a Disney Vacation Club owner. So there are two ways of doing it. You can rent directly from a Disney Vacation Club owner. You can do the transaction right with them, or you can go through a broker. And I like David's DVC Rentals. They are great. I think they're based out of Canada, I'm pretty sure. But they're really, really, really good, and they can get you great deals on your hotel rooms, and they work with the owners of the timeshare. So it's just a great thing. If you want to rent directly one-on-one with people, I have used both of these sites with a ton of success. The first one is the Disboards. Second one is Mouse Owners. I will have both of those links in the comment below, or in the description bar below. These are pretty much chat boards where people will advertise how many points that they have, or if they have a reservation that they want someone to take over, and you just get in contact with that person. You do the transaction directly with that person, and it's been great. It's been really, really good. And you get the rooms for so much less than if you were just to get them from Disney, and you get so much more space too. Like, for us, having a special diet, I eat paleo, my husband eats paleo autoimmune protocol. We can't necessarily just like eat in restaurants all the time, or just go up to a counter service restaurant. You know, it's just harder. We have special considerations with our diet, so we always like to have either a kitchenette or full kitchen when we're staying at Disney. It just makes life so much easier, and all the Disney Vacation Club rooms have one of those two options. It's just, for us, makes total sense. Plus, you are like right next to the parks for the most part, and it's just so, so good. So highly recommend doing some research on that if you want to stay at a Disney Vacation Club hotel for way, way less than what you would pay with Disney. All right, number 10, my last one, is to really take advantage of your FastPass Plus and the My Disney Experience app. So the My Disney Experience app is completely free from the App Store, and you create your account, you link all of your reservation stuff together, and it allows you, if you're staying on site, to make your FastPass Plus reservations 60 days in advance, or if you're staying off site, 30 days in advance. The 60-day mark is like Christmas for us. It's like we get online and we're like, okay, fast pass. Like, we have it all scheduled out, planned out before we get online. And pretty much what you can do is, like, let's say we're at Magic Kingdom, you can pick 3 rides that you want to ride that particular day, and you could put a little time block in there of when you want to ride those rides, and then when their time frame rolls around, you just take your little magic band and go boop, boop, boop when you're at the ride, and it just lets you in, and you only have to wait maybe 10 minutes for the ride rather than an hour and a half or however long. So highly recommend taking advantage of FastPass Plus. So once you get through with that third FastPass, the third one you use for the day, then you get on your My Disney Experience app, and then you schedule your next one if you want to do that, and just see what's available, what's around you, what time frames are available. Boop, boop. Okay, so then you ding, 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 and then you go in your ride, and then you do the same thing. Once you're in the queue line for that, get on your app and find your next one. And it just saves so much time standing in line, and a lot of people don't do this. So I highly recommend doing this because it will save so much frustration and time, and it's just really good. Plan it out ahead of time so you know, like, go to the Disney's website, look through the rides if you've never been to Disney before, see what the descriptions are, go to YouTube, check out the rides, and, you know, take advantage of that. So when you're doing FastPass Plus, my recommendations for the ones to do, like when you're at Epcot, I highly recommend getting a FastPass for Soarin'. I feel like Marty, a FastPass for Soarin'. You definitely want to do that because, like I said, with Test Track, you have that single rider option. So you don't necessarily, if you are okay being split up, you don't really need a FastPass for Test Track if you're okay being split up. But for Soarin', they don't really have that single rider option as much. So it will save you time doing a FastPass for Soarin'. Also, if you're into Mission Space, go for it. But for us, I've never done Mission Space. I don't like those types of closed-in simulators. That just freaks me out. So if that's your thing, whatever. For us, we always do Soarin' and like Spaceship Earth. Maelstrom, no, not Maelstrom. No, it's not Maelstrom. R.I.P. Maelstrom. Frozen Ever After is also a very hot ticketed item. So get a fast pass for Frozen Ever After if that's your thing. We rode it once. I'm okay not riding it again. I'd rather spend my fast pass at Soarin'. I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, yeah. So at Epcot, that's what I would do. I would definitely do Soarin', and then anything else you get as a bonus, or Frozen Ever After if you have kids that are into Soarin'. At Magic Kingdom, they don't have like specific limitations. So you can do like all the mountains, you could do like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Splash and Big Thunder Mountain, and or like Pirates of the Caribbean or Jungle Cruise or anything like that. For us, we always try to get Seven Dwarfs Mine Train because that line is super duper long all the time. And we like it enough. Like we rode it a lot this past trip in September. And I get motion wibble wobbles. So speaking of that, Digize helps with motion easiness. Helps with motion stuff. The coaster kind of sways some, and I don't love the swaying motion. It kind of makes me a little woozy. But I kind of got used to it after a while, after riding it a couple of times at Magic Kingdom, so it's something to keep in mind if you kind of get a little woozy. But I would suggest Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I would also suggest Splash Mountain or Big Thunder Mountain because those lines can tend to get a little bit long. The line for Space Mountain, I'm okay standing in. I don't love that ride. Like, I kind of just avoid the ride, but I'm okay standing in it because it's shaded and it's covered and it's air conditioned and it's fine. So if I were to pick between the mountains for fast passes, I would stick with Splash and Big Thunder because those queue lines get hot. And so you probably want to move through the lines as quickly as possible. Fast pass is a great idea. Like for Pirates of the Caribbean, I don't think a fast pass is necessary. Air conditioned, cool, feels really good. Jungle Cruise is another great option because that queue line can get really, really hot too. So those would be my suggestions for fast passes for Magic Kingdom. At Animal Kingdom, of course, Pandora is opening like as I talk to you. So that will be a pretty hot item. They've got 2 rides there, so I would highly recommend probably getting your Pandora stuff out of the way. Expedition Everest would be another one, unless you are willing to do single rider and then do single rider there. The queue line for Kilimanjaro Safari gets really hot too, so that'd be a good one to do a fast pass on as well, just because Animal Kingdom as a whole just gets really, really warm, so any fast pass you can do. I wouldn't do one for Dinosaur because that one's inside and very, very cool, so don't have to worry about the heat with that one. At Hollywood Studios, there's really not a whole lot open at this point. Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Star Tours are the biggies for fast passes, so I would aim for those. But I highly recommend doing them because you're saving yourself some time. And I know a lot of people get a little like, because you're pre-planning so much. You can change your fast pass times as you need to. When we went to Disney this past time, I originally made our fast passes for the morning time, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And this was before special touring considerations that we had to do when we were thinking about autoimmune disease and like all these other things that we had to think about. So we ended up switching them to the late afternoon. I had no problem switching my fast passes like day of. So just something to keep in mind. Just get your fast pass in there, and then if you need to modify it, go for it. All right, that's 10. That's a lot. That's probably more than 10. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the other 2 ladies that are also participating in this video. I will link their channels in the description bar below. If you have any questions of anything I talked about, I'd be happy to answer them for you. I can always talk everything and anything Disney. That's kind of like my other world outside of essential oils. So I'm happy to answer your questions. It's totally fine. If you haven't already and you'd like to, hit that button down below. Subscribe so you never miss a Daily Dreamland video. Happy Disney planning, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Ciao!